let's look at this question. We have negative 6y brackets 4y plus minus 5y squared, close that bracket. So here, what do? Negative 6y brackets 4y plus minus 5y squared, close bracket. So what we'll first ask ourselves is how many terms do we have in the expression? So here we have 1, because multiplication combines these terms, plus separates 2. Okay. Then we need to apply our knowledge from BODMAS. BODMAS says what? Or BADMAS says what? BADMAS says we always look at brackets, follow it with exponents, division, multiplication later, addition and subtraction in that order. So we have 9 negative 6y. There's a bracket here. So that means negative 6y, we know that brackets mean multiply. Multiply gets priority over addition. So we're going to first take care of that. This positive and this negative sign need to also be multiplied, especially because we can see that this bracket outside there's no exponent, so that means we can multiply immediately. Okay, so it seems like brackets mean multiply, which means then addition will come later, subtraction. So let's start with that. What's negative 6y times 4y? Negative times a positive. Remember S and L when we multiply. Negative times a positive is a negative. 6 times 4 is 24. The number is complete. Y times y, the letter y times y is y to the power 1 plus 1, which is y squared. We are done with this term. Plus positive times the negative, negative what? 5y squared. Now if you look at this, we now have two terms, two separate terms. They are also like terms. So what do we do with like terms? Like terms we can add and subtract. What do we do when we add and subtract like terms? We keep the variable and its exponent y squared, and then we add the coefficients. What's negative 24 minus 5? If you utilize your calculator, we don't know, we get an answer of negative 29. So the answer is negative 29 y squared. Okay, how easy was that, guys? I hope you can see how easy it is. Look at this question. Once again, we ask ourselves, how many terms do we have? We have 1, plus sign separates 2, minus sign separates 3. Okay, so once again, BADMAS comes to mind. Brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So if we look at negative 3 into e plus 1, that's multiplication. Brackets mean multiply. So it means brackets and multiplication need to first take priority, because there's no exponents, there's no division. So brackets multiply. So negative 3e monomial with a, how many terms inside the bracket? 2 terms. So that means we're going to be distributing negative 3e into that. Okay. Also, plus 2e is alone, so it's going to be remain untouched. Negative here needs to be distributed into the 2 terms inside the bracket. Very, very important what I've just said to you. Right? Very, very important. So if we are dealing with that problem, I just want to rewrite it in a clean sheet of paper. Hopefully I can locate one, right? Because I work vertically, right? Very important. I work vertically. Okay, so even with all these problems that I did, I work vertically. Negative times a positive. 3 times 1. E times E. Okay, we keep the variables, we add the exponents, e squared. So negative sign, negative times a positive, negative 3 times 1, 3. E times E, e squared. Negative times a positive, negative 3 times 1, 3. The e next door. Brackets removed. Okay, 2e was a standalone. Negative times e, negative e. Negative times a negative, positive 5. Bracket removed. So very important that you must understand that brackets mean multiply, and a negative sign outside a binomial, trinomial, quadrinomial, whatever polynomial however many terms inside the bracket. Remember, negative sign needs to be distributed inside that particular bracket. Whatever is outside, we apply the distributive law and we apply our SNL. Now we must look, are there any like terms? So negative 3a squared has no like term, but you can see here this negative 3e and this 2e and this minus e, those are all like terms. Plus 5 is not like any other term. So we write our final answer as negative 3e squared. But look, these are all like terms because they all have e and the exponents are the same. 1, 1, 1. So what do? We keep the variable, then we add the coefficients. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1, negative 1, or negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So we have negative 2e plus what? Plus 5. We leave this answer as negative 3e squared minus 2e plus 5. No jokes, no problems, akuna matata. Okay?